What do we have here? A female supporter, a weird debuffer. Nah. Oh, what's this? Big buff. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Disgaea RPG. Today we'll talk about Love X. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Love X is another gorgeous character who plays the main attacker role. Unfortunately, she belongs to one of the most neglected archetypes in the game, the magical monster archetype. Let's check if she's good enough to bring this archetype back from the dead. Love X Any 0 is a 16% buff to all stats for the party. Her Any 1 is a 70% damage boost to her star attribute attacks when she's equipped with a magical monster weapon. Her Any 5 is an 80% critical damage buff for one turn when there's one enemy left, and her Any 7 gives her 20 SP if she has an int buff. For skills, her Love Burst is a cheap AoE attack which reduces speed by 5%. Her Love Beam is a high cost AoE attack which calculates damage with the lowest defensive stat, gives a 25% int buff to herself and increases action gauge by 1000. Last is her Love Sawtooth. This is her S rank single target attack, and it gets a 10% skill damage increase if she has an int buff. Additionally, this calculates damage adding 8% of Love X resistance. For spells, she has Mega Heal, Giga Heal, and Omega Heal, but since she is a main attacker, you probably won't use them. As you can see, Love X is a star element monster int attacker, which has a hefty critical damage buff coming from her abilities, but she barely gives herself any int buffs. And let's not forget that magical monsters have very low critical rate, which makes her difficult to use if you don't have enough critical rate buffers. She's technically good for challenging content, such as raids and sparse space, but you'll need the right supporters. So, who does she need to partner with? Well, my first recommendation is Santa Rosalind if you're tackling a raid. She has a big int buff with a critical damage buff attached to it. She gives SP and her abilities also buff int. If you're running multiple attackers, then try using characters like Beach Desco, Leone's Princess Edna, Oniflone, or Pram. All of them have party-wide int buffs and they also support int teams with their abilities. Formal Ortina is another excellent supporter. She gives critical rate passively and you can give an extra action to one of your supporters, increasing the number of buffs for Love X. In the future, Rubens will be an excellent choice if you want to increase critical rate or debuff the enemy. HGC Asagi, of course, is the elemental supporter for Star, so be sure to get her if you want to use Love X. Super Pure Flown is an attacker that also works as a supporter. She gives good buffs with her abilities and skills, and she's also a star element user. Ghost Majorita is another option. She's a star int supporter. Although her buffs aren't exactly good, she supports what Love X needs: int, critical rate, and star damage. Space Raspberry is another star supporter, and she gives a ton of buffs, which is just what Love X needs. Sacred Tom Zeta is the F2P option you'll want to use once the Makai Kingdom rerun comes this year. As many F2P units, he doesn't have big buffs, but he has a super good ability that clears Forget for all allies. And that's it guys. Love X is certainly underwhelming when she releases, but as time goes by, more and more supporters will hit the scene, making her a really viable option. But of course, it's difficult to recommend a character which you can use immediately. But what do you think? Is she good enough for you? Are you rolling for her? Let me know in the comments. See ya!